Welcome back, everybody, to another exciting episode of The Careful Boys, where we got Walter in the hot seat today. Woo!
Hot seat, Walter.
So welcome to our Game of Thrones hot seat, where we like to put our special guests in a very warm and hot seat, and ask you some really fun questions. Where we start off a little bit cool, and we'll get a little warmer, and we'll heat it up at the end. Okay.
Okay.
Bart likes to start it off real sterile.
Go ahead, Bart.
Do I? Okay. What was your favorite subject in high school?
Oh fuck, dude, you're so good at that.
That's a sterile ass question.
Very nobody gives a fuck, but let's just start that.
That's like let's waste some time kind of
Let's
question.
go and warm up.
You know, like, looking back, I actually remember all my teachers in high school. And I'll say history. I wasn't good at it, but I liked the teacher a lot. Yeah, Mr. Reed.
I got a question.
He was hot.
So like for the people who just tuned in, who don't know who you are, Walter is a stand-up comedian, right?
OG, yep.
And
Third
usually-
wave.
Third wave.
Third wave. And usually the type of people we get in here are interesting, or they have a skill, or they do something in entertainment, or whatever, right? But I like to always ask, what got you into doing this thing? Like, how did you get passionate about stand-up comedy?
That's
and all
true,
that?
especially
And it was
back then.
It was during a time when Asians had no representation, and it was still a time where there was no people that you can look up to, and you just had to just do it.
For me, so I have 3 stints in stand-up. One was when I was 22, right out of college. One was like when I was, I think, 23 or 24. And then this is the longest one. It's been probably close to like maybe 15, 16, 17 years. I'm bad at time. This stint just started as a hobby. I just wanted to just do it, just for fun.
But for most people, getting on stage is like the most frightening thing in the world, though.
Yeah, for me, I'm not wired that way. So for me, getting on stage that was like, it wasn't a concern of mine.
Even the first show, you didn't have like the butterflies, like, oh my god, I can't believe I'm doing this shit.
I think I was more concerned with, like, the very first time I did stand up was at Laugh Factory, waiting outside for like 12 hours. That was when I was 22. My main concern was, are they gonna find me funny? That was like my main concern. I wasn't like getting on stage or anything like that. But like,
Wait, so you had to wait 20 hours for your turn?
12. Back then, you had to be there at 7 in the morning. Wow. And then you wait all day, and then they take names at like around like 5:30 or whatever. Wow. And you had to wait there and hold your spot, because if you left, someone would come and cross your name out and put their own name in.
Oh, other comics? That's ruthless,
Yeah,
dude.
it was bad back then. Now I heard you can go like at 4 or 5 in the afternoon, and they just take the first 25. That's it. Like, no one waits.
They're just checking online now.
Yeah, pretty much.
Virtual queue.
But back then, yeah, you had to wait.
What is back then? Like in the 90s or like?
So I had just graduated, so this was 96.
Damn, that's when Tupac died, man.
Damn, that means I gotta owe it to PK, because every time I had a spot, he just hooked me up. I never waited or anything.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there are people that they'll give spots to, because obviously notoriety and all that stuff. But PK,
Thank you, PK.
I will give it up to PK. He waited. So basically, when you go, you do it, and then the owner will say, okay, he'll evaluate you, and he'll say, okay, come back in 2 weeks. So you can only go once every 2 weeks. PK went once every 2 weeks for I think 2 years.
Damn.
I went once. Like, I didn't want to be a stand-up at the time. I was just trying it. I went once, and he goes, you're going to be a star in 2 years. Come back in 2 weeks. Coming back in 2 weeks, wait outside for 12 hours. I'm not doing that. I never went back because I didn't want to be a stand-up.
When they say come back in 2 weeks, you still have to get in line. If they don't like...
You still have to get in line. Yeah.
So it's always been a casual thing for you, like, oh, this is a fun life experience, let me try it.
Yeah.
Like, you didn't have this massive dream to being the stand-up comedian.
No, until I decided to do it professionally, which was about, I want to say like 8, 9, 10 years ago. I decided I want to do this professionally.
So you did years of it just like for fun.
As a hobby, yeah. I didn't write too much material. I had like 20 to 30 minutes of material. But then once I decided I want to do this professionally, then I started really writing.
You had a job at the same time? Like
Yeah, I was working in TV development at John Wells Productions. Like, our company produced ER, West Wing, Third Watch. Yeah, and so I was working there. But yeah, I just did it as a hobby. I just did this as a hobby, and then when I decided I'm gonna do this professionally, then I really just started like.
What was the
writing.
most glorious moment of your professional career so far?
The things that come into mind, I don't know if they're glorious per se, but like Neil Brennan, co-creator of Chappelle's Show, I got off stage, he's like, hey man, good stuff, and he gave me a fist bump. And then Damon Wayans, I came off stage like, hey man, that was some funny stuff.
Sick.
So that to me was like, it was cool. But like glorious moment, honestly, like, I'm really shallow. So glorious moment for me would be like if like a hot chick after the show was like, oh my god, you're so funny.
It's like Damon Wayans, yeah, but this hot girl.
That, like, yeah, if she goes like, oh my god, you're so funny, can we go grab a drink?
Can I grab your balls?
Yeah. Oh, I don't even know what the drink feels like. Balls, I would probably just die.
You would explode.
But yeah, like if like a hot girl after shit was like, oh my god, I think you're so funny. Can we go grab a drink? I'd probably be in a situation where I wouldn't know what to do. You know, like I'm sure, like my mind's like, do say yes, say yes, say yes. Yeah. But then like my heart's like, but what if she hurts me?
Were you single? You were single throughout.
What if we get married and then she divorces me? You're already thinking about that?
What if my parents don't approve?
Far. So during that stint, you were single, dude.
Oh yeah. I mean, when girls say they like funny guys, that's not what they mean. They like.
They don't want like a honk honk.
Yeah. When girls say they want a funny guy, when girls say they want a nice guy, and they say they want a smart guy, that's not what they mean. Like when they want a funny guy, they just want a guy that here and there makes some jokes and makes them laugh. Like what Bart, like that.
Like a Make-A-Wish Foundation clown.
When they want a nice guy.
Pull my finger and you're like,
Yeah,
so funny,
that's
this guy
what they
kills.
want. I want to fuck that guy. And then like nice guy, they just want a guy that's just only nice to them. They don't want a guy that's nice to everybody. Yeah, when they want a smart guy, they just want a guy that's code for that listens to them. Because if you watch them with dogs, they're like, oh my god, my dog's so smart. Look, he does everything I say. That's what they mean by smart guy. They don't want a smart guy. Oh, shit. Yeah. They don't want, like when Bart says, like, his mom said that black people have that extra third lung. Yeah. They don't want a guy that gives you the biological like anatomy of like, no, that's not possible because of this. They want the guy that just goes, honey, what do you think? Oh, I agree with you. That's a smart guy.
Oh, that guy's so smart.
Yeah, my guy's so smart, He wears exactly what I tell him to wear, and he just listens. He's amazing. He's so smart.
That is a smart guy.
Yeah.
So smart.
So like it's a misnomer what they say. They're trying to trick us. Yeah. So guys are like, oh, I'm funny, I'm smart, and yeah.
What about the potentially least glorious moment of your career so far?
The least is not getting booked. It's like that's probably like the least. I mean, because for comics, the main thing is getting booked. I mean, obviously getting fortune and fame is up there, but like getting booked is like the stepping stone to get to the next gig.
And what's the definition of getting booked? Like doing the local shows, is that considered getting booked, or like doing the ones where you get to travel?
Anywhere, yeah, anywhere. Getting booked, I think, is like key. Because if we don't get booked, then we can't perform and we can't get fans. We can't, get out there. So getting booked is key. So like not getting booked, it sucks. Like, and then being yellow, if a club has one yellow comic already, like I've heard this. Oh, we already had Ken Jeong last week. So
yeah, it's like
yeah. Sorry, you're breaking.
Does he take all the jobs?
He takes a lot. I gotta say, I love Ken, and if you guys have met Ken, he's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet.
But we got beef, right? We got beef with him?
But he's a job-taking that minority is what he is.
It's like, yo, dude, like, what are you doing coming back? Because he wasn't doing comedy for a while. And then he came back, and it's like, oh, well, we got Ken, so we don't need anyone else.
Can't you just see where he's at on Instagram and you just go to the other cities?
Yeah, but they'll say, like, oh, we got Ken coming, so...
Oh, so either way.
Ken, yeah, I mean, and... that's awesome for Ken. He should be getting booked left and right. He's awesome. But as a comic, it's like, yo, you could like not do comedy anymore. Like,
have you tried that?
Yeah.
As a comic, you could just give up.
Yeah.
You kind of like made a lot of money and like, you could give us some.
You could go back to being a doctor.
Yeah, you're a doctor, dude.
Yeah.
Be a doctor.
You have a lot of career choices, bro.
Hot seat style. Who's the comic that you hate the most in the game?
Bam.
Yeah. Ken Jeong.
Dan John! I love him, but I fucking hate him.
Like,
Hates too strong. Hates too strong.
like real hate or
How about this? Which comic do you think is overrated?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, dude.
See, that's a little safer.
Let's talk some shit.
Log into Netflix. Just log into Netflix.
They're giving those away, huh? They're giving away specials to everybody.
Log into Netflix.
So you're talking about Brendan Schaub.
Yeah, I don't know who that is. I think makes the point though. No, but it makes a point though.
Do you think there's a difference in prestige between HBO and Netflix when you get an HBO special and a Netflix special?
Right now, Netflix is higher.
Oh,
Because of Dave Chappelle, though, huh?
Well, all the comics that they sign, like even Amy Schumer, like the big deals they're getting. To me, I think it's great that the guys and gals that got Netflix specials, awesome. Yeah. But I think it also hurts stand-up comedy because then they're already paying for Netflix. So when they're at home, they're like, oh, this is for free. Yeah. Well, you want me to go to a comedy club and pay $60 to $80?
They don't appreciate it.
Yeah, and then the comics, they're like, oh, they're not even that good. Yeah. Because they don't recognize them. Recognition it helps a lot. Yeah, it does. Yeah. So when they're at home, this is for free. I could pause it whenever I want, and I get the best people.
So it's fucking the comedy economy.
I think so. I think so personally. I mean, you're gonna have a lot of like comedians that are like fake intelligent. That's not me. I'm like actually intelligent.
Today's video is brought to you by Upstart.
Tis the season of gift giving, but you shouldn't forget about yourself. Why not give yourself the gift of financial freedom with Upstart?
Upstart is the fast and easy way to pay off your personal debt with a loan all online.
Whether it's paying off credit cards or consolidating high interest debt or funding personal expenses, over 1 million people have used Upstart to get one fixed monthly payment with a payoff date.
Rather than looking at your credit score alone, Upstart considers other factors like your income, current employment, and credit history to find you a smarter rate for your loan.
You can check your rate without impacting your credit score in minutes for loans between $1,000 to $50,000.
You can even receive funds as fast as 1 business day after being accepted for your loan.
Find out how Upstart can lower your monthly payment today by going to upstart.com/offtherecord. That's upstart, upstart.com/OFFTHERECORD. Don't forget to use the URL so they know that we sent you guys. Loan amounts will be determined by your credit, income, and other information provided on your loan application. Go to upstart.com/offtherecord.
Has anyone ever stolen your jokes?
I can say maybe a couple, like 2 or 3, but
Ken Jong, huh?
Yeah, Ken Jong, you joke stealer, yo.
I won't say the guy's name, but I'll give you the initials.
Carlos
Ken Jong.
Mencia.
So like,
CM.
Ken's never stole anything. He's never stole anything. He's not a joke thief. Yeah, he's not a joke thief. It'd be difficult for me to argue that they stole the joke, but I'm of the school of thought, and this is a personal thing. If I hear like a comedian do a joke that's similar to mine, I won't say anything to them. I'll just stop doing the joke because for me, I'm confident enough I can write another joke. Yeah. That's just my own personal thing. So I don't like if we have a similar joke, I'll just stop doing it. Like I don't care.
But I knew you smashed their wife.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's if she likes me, which is rare. You know,
If she doesn't break my heart
yeah,
first.
because she probably wants a smart guy that's funny, and and then she'll break my heart and we'll get divorced. You know.
The whole thing.
Which comedy club in LA has the nicest owner?
You know, I gotta say, there are comedy club owners where if you don't know them, they're not nice, and that doesn't mean they're mean. They're just you have to understand that they run into thousands of people who are all trying to kiss their butts. So
There's a bouncer at the front of the club.
Exactly. So there's a wall to begin with. But having said that, once you get to know them, honestly, like I think Jamie at Laugh Factory is really nice, really sweet person. The owners of Haha Cafe, Terry and Jack.
Is that in Glendale?
No, it's a studio, North Hollywood, Studio City.
North Hollywood.
They're really sweet people. And most of like the managers and bookers, they're nice people. Most of them, not all of them, but most of them are nice. And so it's just a matter of getting past the wall and you understand why there is a wall. You know, it'd be like when you guys were doing Just Kidding Films and all these Asian actors and actresses were like, oh, I'm so funny, I'm a comedian too, I want to do sketches. You probably heard that so many times. It's like, you do have to put up a certain amount of walls because chances are they're not funny. Mm-hmm. Chances are they suck. Yeah. But they're, but you don't know, but you do know. It's because you have to pretend you don't know and be like, oh yeah, no, I'm sure you're great, yeah, like hit us up, but inside you're like, I hope they don't hit us up because it's stressful saying no, like to say no to someone
All the time, huh?
Yeah, all the time.
Yeah.
How do you deal with bombing on stage?
I don't know what that's like.
What's your worst bombing story?
Worst one. So when I started early on, what I used to do is I used to rush through my material.
Because was it the anxiety of being on stage, or like what do you think?
Well, like so at one point, my second stint, I used to do my character was a guy that owned a fast food egg roll and wonton place, and I had all these different. Egg
So you
rolls
would play a
and wontons.
persona?
I played a character. I played a Chinese guy. Like, I got fried egg roll and fried wonton, and then not so fried egg roll, not so fried wonton. And then I would play all the characters that came in. I had like a southern guy come in, a black guy come in, English people come in. The crowd was all British.
Wait, so you played?
I played all the characters. I played everybody. The crowd was British. they just didn't get it.
Because is it an American joke?
I don't know. I guess Americans more got it, but like the British people just did not get it, or they didn't like me. I don't know what it was. But there was there's a small crowd, like 30 people. Like 20 of them were British.
Yeah.
No one was laughing. So what should have been 15 minutes, I rushed through in about 5 to 7 minutes. I just rushed through because whether they're supposed to laugh, they weren't laughing. So I just kept going. It was basically I was just reading off a playlist. You know, I was just reading. That's probably like the worst that I ever bombed.
And the whole time was your heart pumping and you're
like I was just like I need to get off stage.
Were you sweating a lot?
I don't sweat like that. Like that doesn't make me sweat.
But that's not your fault. That's like British people's fault. Right?
That's of course no. Like while I was doing it, I was like, you guys are so dumb. Like, why don't you understand this?
You should have said that.
But see, back then though, I was so like basically what happens when at least when I bomb and the anxiety level goes up, it's your vision starts closing in. It's like when you're drunk and your vision starts closing. You have no peripheral vision. It just starts closing in. And all you see is this. That's kind of like what was going on with me. But like now, if a joke doesn't
and when
work,
it closes, you're just looking at the exit side. Where is it? Give me the light. Give me the light.
Where's the light?
You're just supposed to drop the mic and run.
That's basically like what I wanted to do. But like now, like if a joke doesn't work, I just kind of like I'll give it some like a couple seconds to see like maybe they're not getting it. Yeah. But now like I call them out so I lost you on that one, or like you guys are dumb because this is an awesome joke and I know it's awesome because it's work. You guys are. But like so now like if a joke doesn't work, it doesn't affect me like it did before. Like before, like I remember when jokes didn't work, I'd be like really down. Like I go through this emotional low and be like, oh man, I don't even know why I'm alive. Stuff like that. Yeah. But like now it's like I don't really go through all that.
Do you think like that's pretty normal after like 10 years of doing whatever?
I think each comic is different. Like the best way I like to describe comedians is this. Like let's say you work at an office job in accounting. You're gonna have a variety of personalities, even though you're all accountants. Some are gonna be outgoing, some are gonna just wanna stay home, some are gonna be jerks, some are gonna be awesome. That's kind of like with comedians too. Even though we're all doing an extroverted activity, we all run the gamut. There's guys that get so nervous their hands are sweating like crazy. Like it's just, you have to wipe your hands after you shake their hand. That's how nervous they get. And there's some guys that are like jerks. Some guys are nice. I've heard of guys in Canada that are racist. They want to fight you. To Asian comedians, yeah.
In Canada, the nicest fucking place, yeah.
Wow. And there's some guys that want to be your friends. And some guys that don't want to be your friends. And so it just runs the gamut.
So it's like regular human people.
Regular human people.
That's a hot take.
Yeah, pretty much. But I think people don't look at us that way because they're doing something that most people can't do, which is talking in front of other people.
Yeah.
So they think like, oh, you guys are all wired the same. Yeah. But that's not the case. Like we're all a little, we're all different. We all have our nuances. There's guys that you become close with immediately. There's guys that you'll never get close with just because for whatever reason. And so yeah, it runs the gamut on all that. So we all react differently when like bombing or things don't work. Some guys you can tell get nervous before they go on stage. Some guys aren't. It's just kind of
So we reached the 16-minute, 52-second mark of this episode where we usually like to turn up the heat a little bit, get a little bit more serious about what's going on.
Yeah, right at that 16:52.
What would you consider as the most challenging thing that you've ever experienced in the game for yourself?
Honestly, it's getting booked. That's like the most challenging because for us, that's the gateway. Is getting booked.
Whose job is it? Is it yours or the managers or like whose club?
It's everybody. It's on everybody. Like for like me personally, like it's me reaching out to comedy clubs and like getting no responses.
You're just cold calling them?
Yeah, keep reaching. It's basically like cold calling.
So it's nerve-wracking because it's like a gamble and you're like, I hope they choose me.
Yeah, I hope they. Yeah.
But it's almost like a job interview every fucking week.
Yeah, without talking to them.
Oh man! And then you just get picked one day.
Oh, you're just like leaving a message?
They may not click your link. Because they're getting probably hundreds of emails from people, and then they're gonna see the ones that they know.
So this is gonna be a super naive question, but like let's say for like a dancer, right? Like getting booked maybe is like going out to audition, maybe getting booked because you're casted for something, maybe choreographing for something, maybe dancing for an artist or a car commercial. Like there's just different types of things. For like comics, is there a multitude of different things that getting booked like can cover, whether it be even like screenwriting for a TV show as a comic, or is it just really like the avenue of first like stand up, like getting popular through that only?
Yeah, it's just like when you're like, so basically we don't it's rare that there'll be an audition for stand-up unless it's like America's Got Talent or like some like TV show. There's auditions for that. But as far as like for clubs, there's no audition process. It's either like you know somebody that like referred you and they book you, or you email them, like cold email them, and then hope and pray that they click on your link and they like you, and then they'll book you. And it's only for stand-up. Now, if you want to write, you know, you got to just write on your own.
Got it.
And then you have to go through a different avenue to get.
And let's say you get like successful. Let's say you're like getting a lot of momentum and getting booked for like stand-up. Like, what's the next step concept for somebody like you at least?
You'll know when I get.
Or in terms of like things that you like to do, I guess.
Yeah, like you'll know if I get to the next level because I'll talk to none of you.
That's what usually happens on this show.
Not saying you're not there. Not saying you're not. Just genuinely kind of.
When people big time us, you know.
You'll know. Everyone will know. No,
As you should.
Yeah, for me, the next level would be
Steve's gone.
like big money. Big money. I feel like. I mean, at the end of the day, for entertainment, no matter what anyone says, I'm too cynical to believe that money is not involved. Like when people want to be actors and you ask them, "What do you want to be an actor?" Oh, I love acting. I'm so passionate about acting.
Then be a fucking theater play in a small town.
Then you know what they'll say? There's no money there. So you want money. You want money. But with acting, less than 1% of the Screen Actors Guild Union makes all the money. And that goes with pretty much everything in entertainment. It's like 1% make the money. And so for comedians, it's about getting booked and it's about money. And so if some comedian says, no, I love it for the passion, I believe you. I believe you do love telling jokes for the passion. I love telling jokes. I love making people laugh. I'm passionate about it. However, if there was no future of like a big payout or a big payday, I think like 70 to 80% of comedians would stop being comedians.
Yeah. Unless they really have a day job that they crush it professionally, and then like a hobby. Like for you, most of your years was like a hobby thing, right? Yeah.
But yeah, it's if money wasn't involved, I think a lot of people wouldn't do it because why? Because there's a lot of pressure in joke writing. If it doesn't work, because you pour your heart into it, and if it doesn't work, you get sad. And and then people talk like, oh yeah, I've seen Walter, dude, he sucks, man. But it may have been one bad show. But they're gonna use that one bad show and kind of like pretty much like assume, yeah, well, I suck. But then what they don't realize is like some shows we're just trying stuff out. We're just like saying, oh, I'm gonna see if what sticks. And then they came to that show and they're like, I saw Walter, dude. Like no one was laughing. That guy sucks.
Is it like everyone's kind of workshopping on the weekly at these clubs, and then when they get a special, that's when all the ones that they worked out, that's like the feature film. Like that's like the writer's room. The comedy club is some material that for sure is gonna make them laugh, but then their working material they mix in.
Yeah, like so. Okay, this is the funny part with comedians is that we're working towards nothing. If you think about it, we're doing shows and we're making people laugh. But a lot of comedians have this and like every time I go to a show, like you described, Joe, I'm working towards my special. And then if you ask them, oh, you have a special, coming along? Oh no, I'm just being prepared. I'm preparing myself. So basically, when you look at it, technically, we're working towards nothing.
They're working for an imaginary special.
Imaginary special. Like we're working towards nothing. Unless you're like a big name and you got a 3 special deal, then yeah, when you're at the clubs, that guy's literally, like Dave Chappelle will literally be doing material to see what to put into a special and to work it out. But like someone like me, or like I call ourselves the mid-level,
like the working comedian.
Yeah, working comedians where we have no special in the pipeline in the works, and so when a comic like in the middle level says, "Oh, I'm working towards my special," it's like, "Oh, you got a special coming out? Well, yeah, I'm gonna shoot it myself." Okay, well, that's a little bit different than like getting a traditional special. So, to me, I guess it's a personal thing. I don't write jokes or like perform towards a special. Because I don't have nothing in the works. I'm just working for, well, tonight I'm gonna make people laugh, hopefully, and that's my enjoyment from it. But like there's a lot of comics that's very business oriented, like I'm working towards, I'm gonna try these jokes, I'm gonna put in my special. Like, what special are you doing, bro? And like, but for them, that's what motivates them, then cool. That's the thing. But yeah, basically, I do jokes. We want to get a certain amount, like 30 minutes, an hour. Like, we want that. But I don't do it to be like, oh, it's for my hour special I'm going to do. I do it just so, like, I know, like, depending on the show, if these jokes aren't working, I know, like, okay, well, I can hit them with, like, something else. Like, because, like, if I do a lot of jokes being single, and if it's all, like, people that don't care about being single, like older people, I got to do something else. Because for them, they don't care about being single if they're in their.
It's like reading the room is the mastery, huh?
Yeah, but it's the mastery and also having the material, like a wide range of material to connect with people. That's also key too. So there's a lot involved with it.
Wow, man. Well, kudos to you because stand-up comedy is brutal.
hard.
It's one of the. I think it's one of the hardest things in entertainment.
To be good at.
Yeah, just like dancing, you know, like because like the payout is like.
Everyone expects you to be good.
Fuck, bro.
I think that sucks.
Yeah, I was testing material on ABDC, you know.
How'd that go?